Hello, and welcome to the Hive Mind podcast, where the collective wisdom of the travel industry helps you match travelers with the right destinations and the right hotels. I'm your host, Whitney Schindler, founder and CEO of The Hive, a platform designed to give travel advisors organized, actionable insights you can put to work right away. Each week, I sit down for focused, real-world conversations with travel advisors, hoteliers, and supplier partners who know these places inside and out. We break down how each hotel is best suited for a specific client profile, take quick deep dives into destinations, and share pro tips to help you make the most of the Hive. And here's the best part. You don't need to take notes while you listen. Go about your day, tune in, and know that every insight from these conversations is already captured and organized inside the Hive, so it's there when you actually need it. And if you aren't on the Hive yet, you can get resources from this and other episodes when you join our newsletter at thehive.travel/podcast. Today's episode is part of The Stay Guide, where we explore multiple hotels in a single destination to highlight their unique strengths, differences, and the clients they're best suited for. We're focusing on adults-only all-inclusive resorts in Los Cabos. And while there are many properties to consider, today we'll be diving into the Marquis, Paradisus, Velas Boutique, and Le Blanc. The goal isn't to rank or compare, but to give you the clarity and confidence to guide your clients with ease. Joining us to discuss their experiences staying at these properties and conducting site inspections is Alexis Pettway, owner of AP Travel Services, and Merceades Gonzalez, owner of Go and Wander. Let's dive in. Hello. This week, we are diving into more hotels in Los Cabos, which I'm super excited about because I actually was just there last week. And I do love Cabo. So here with us this week, we have Merceades and Alexis. Merceades, welcome. It's so great to have you.
Hi, thank you.
Alexis, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, thanks for having us.
So you guys, tell me again how many resorts you saw in 6 days in Cabo?
So we visited 13 resorts in Cabo and we stayed at Le Blanc for 6 nights. Mercedes came the day after, so you were 5 nights.
Yep.
And so in the 4 days, 13 resorts.
Yeah. And is this something that you guys do often, that you go and you just try to hit it hard and see a bunch of resorts? Was this the first time you had done this? Tell me a little bit about the background on how you got to taking this very intense professional trip.
It was the first time, I think, for me, and I feel like I want to structure my self fams like that going forward, because a lot of fams, they kind of cover budget, moderate, and luxury, but I specialize in luxury, so I got to see what I wanted to see. Luxury, all-inclusive, and EP properties. So yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, I've started doing this myself a little bit too, and I feel like I could do it even more, especially in these destinations where there are just an overwhelming number of hotels.
Right.
Because if you go on a fam, whoever is hosting that fam and is so generous and in their time and helping manage all the logistics so that we just have to show up, it does mean that we compromise a little bit in what we get to see and do during that time, because they're always going to show us it's generally brand focused, or it's focused on like a wholesaler's collection or a representation partner's collection. It's generally focused on what they sell, where oftentimes we're kind of driving by and I'm always like, oh, I'd love to see that one too.
Yeah.
So self-fam is definitely more work, a lot of more time and energy and resources going into the planning, but ultimately like such a tremendous value coming out of it. I hope that's how you guys felt.
Yeah, for sure. That was like my first time doing a self-fam as well. And I think I've done them that way since. Before, we did just regular fam trips. And after this one, I was like, okay, I really like that. Like you said, we get to choose what resorts and kind of at our speed. Like if we wanted to do 5 in a day, we could. Or if we're like, oh, it's a Friday, maybe we want to, kind of stay back or party, we can see 3. And it worked out perfectly.
Exactly. So you saw 13. Today we're going to talk about 4.
Yes.
Because 13 is a lot and it's way too much for one kind of quick conversation. If you guys want to come back later and tell me about the other ones, we can definitely do that. Today, we're going to focus on 4 resorts or 4 hotels that all 4 are adults only, and they are all inclusive. So on deck, we've got the Marquis, Paradisus, Grand Velas Boutique, and Le Blanc, where you guys stayed versus the other three that you did site inspections.
Yes.
Yep.
You ready to dive in?
Ready.
All right. Let's start with the Marquis. So upon arrival, Alexis, walk me through kind of first impressions. What did you first notice? What really stood out? Was there anything that was different than you were envisioning? Was there anything that kind of exceeded expectations? Like, walk me through that arrival experience in those first, few minutes on property.
Yeah, so I don't think I had any expectations for the Marquis. I wasn't like that familiar with it. I've seen it like online really quick, and Mercedes talked about it a little bit because she had a guest staying there. So I was just kind of like a blank canvas, walking into the Marquis. But when we walked in, the first thing I noticed is the view from the lobby. It was a very open air lobby, very minimalistic, but the art was very, I don't have the word to describe it. The art was very creative, to say the least.
Okay, now I need to pull up a website. Would you say like eclectic? Is it modern? Is it traditional?
I would say like European art style with the statues, very different, figures and poses in the art.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have them all throughout the property. So it's like when you walk in, there's like a big one and has like 2 circles on it.
Yeah.
And then they have like a whole bunch of things. They have like one of like a parent, one, I don't know. It's very different. I shared some images with you. Oh yeah.
So I just on the homepage is like moving, but when I first, let me see if I refresh it, it shows like the 2 circles that you were talking about. Come on. Oh, we got all these
pop-ups. They're like, we want you to stay here.
It was just there. So this, maybe let me look in some gallery and see if I can find some more pictures because I did see it. Oh, here we go. There's those 2 big circles you're talking about. So that's like the entry art, like what you see when you first arrive.
Yeah, and you have a straight look to the ocean, like the trees.
Stunning.
Nothing blocks it. It's just straight vision of the ocean. It's very open, airy, but it wasn't hot. It was still cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went in August.
Yeah, we went
just to kind of put a time in it.
Yeah. And you can kind of see the contrast from the lobby. It looks very rustic and European, but when you get into the rooms, it's very Mexican, traditional.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's an interesting design decision.
It definitely is. I think they generally modern mixed with Mexican. Another art.
Oh, there's another.
That's it.
Okay. I wonder if there's a story behind these sculptures.
I'm not sure. I don't think we got a story behind the sculptures.
I don't remember getting a story.
Maybe it's just art. But okay. Mercedes, tell me your kind of initial impression. So it sounds like you had clients there. So maybe you're a little bit more familiar before arriving. What were some of your first thoughts?
The same thing. So I had clients that had just stayed a few months before. So I kind of sold it blindly. They came to me like, hey, we want to stay here. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what resort that is. But they were pretty adamant, like, that's where we want to stay. And they came back thriving. Normally I tell my clients, like, when you guys have a resort in mind, you tell me how it is, right? And they came back like, it was amazing. It was so beautiful. So I told Alexis, I'm like, we have to go visit this because 1, I sold it. And 2, I want to see how beautiful it is. So the same thing, I didn't really do too much research on it, like leading up to our trip.
I've also never heard of it. Like, why?
Yeah, me either.
Why is it so under the radar?
I don't know. It's really a hidden gem.
Yeah.
A hidden gem. It prices out pretty decently. And like my clients, they had stayed in a room with like a plunge pool. They were honeymooners and they loved that too. Like they loved being able to like have their plunge pool and being able to still see like ocean views. So it was a very unique concept. But the same thing, just walking in, it was very like white, beautiful, airy in August where the temperatures were like, I don't know, high 90s, Lex.
Yeah.
And we were walking all day. It did not feel stuffy. You know how sometimes you walk into open air concepts and you're like, oh my gosh, it's still hot in here. You didn't get that, which was comforting for the most part.
So as you made your way around, seeing rooms, seeing restaurants, seeing the pools and everything,
Yeah.
what tell me about like just kind of thoughts going through your mind of like, oh, this would be perfect for this person, or like this actually isn't my favorite part. I wouldn't send this type of client here. Kind of what were you thinking professionally as you made your way around?
I like the infinity pool. I thought that was a really nice touch. One, because like in Cabo, especially where the Marquis is, you can't swim there. So while the beach
Mhm.
is beautiful to kind of walk alongside of it, I think that it the infinity pool is like so big that like even if it was at max capacity, I don't even think that you can feel that it would be at
Okay.
max capacity. Like they have a really long, I should say, pool. And to me, I'm like, okay, this is really nice. I would say that it was pretty quiet when we visited. Like I wouldn't say it's a party resort, so it's kind of like your resort for like someone who perfect for a honeymooner who's kind of like laid back a little bit,
Mhm.
wants some entertainment, but mostly is like a pool lounger or someone who wants to just hang out.
Yeah. Alexis, what were some of your thoughts thinking about, clients potentially that you would or would not recommend this particular property for as you were making your way around?
Yeah, so I think when I was walking around, I was thinking of travelers that are interested in cultural immersion,
Mhm.
because they are very focused on keeping the atmosphere Mexican. A lot of times, you're at a resort and it's very modern, and you can pick that same resort up and put it in Miami, and it feels the same. But their
Mhm.
focus is on keeping the Mexican culture in the resort. And someone who also likes art, like Mercedes said, the art is all over the resort. And
Mm.
I'm sure somebody that loves art, they would be interested in the stories behind these pieces, taking pictures with them. Um, as she said again, it is very quiet. So maybe like a honeymooner or discerning traveler that just wants to get away and relax. Um,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and someone who doesn't mind, being a hop skip away from downtown Cabo. If you go on the balcony,
Okay.
if you look from a balcony of a room or even from the lobby to the right, you can see downtown Cabo. Um, Someone that
Okay.
likes views.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Mercedes laughed at me because there's like when you're walking on the rooms on I think it's the second floor, there's like a
Yep.
hallway, and on one side there's the ocean. So I'm taking a selfie with the ocean, and I cross back over, and I'm taking a selfie with the mountains, and I'm like, this is amazing. You have
Yeah.
gorgeous views.
Like see both from both
Yeah,
sides.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, I
very
do.
unique. That was like the first time I've ever been to Cabo, but I didn't realize that it had like mountains and like the
Mhm.
ocean.
Mhm.
Me again going into this trip very blindly. And I was like, "Oh wow, this is really cool."
in the desert.
And the desert, it just has a little bit of everything.
Yes, yes. I also do. I really love the landscape and the views in Cabo. Um, what are the trade-offs for the Marquis specifically? Trade-offs being if you have a client who comes to you and says, the spa experience is my top priority, or food has to be amazing. Like if the food's not amazing, it's going to ruin the trip. Or if a client says, I need to be able to like be oceanfront. Like whatever the client has in mind for their trip and they come to you and they say, we must have this. What is the Marquis not going to deliver?
I would say it's not going to deliver nightlife for someone
Yeah.
that
Okay.
is, wants nightlife. Um, And like a lot of the resorts in Cabo, it's not going to deliver a swimmable beach. There are very few resorts that have a swimmable beach uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Los Cabos. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for food, if someone is depending on their type of food that they're used to, if they're used to, just kind of like entry level food or American food, that probably wouldn't be the resort for them. They do a lot of ceviche, a lot of Mexican dishes at the resort. I would
Okay.
say like someone that kind of has like a semi
Open
expanded palate.
palette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, in terms of going to an all inclusive, if someone says, like, we really want a burger or a pizza or chicken fingers, not all resorts are going to deliver that.
Right.
I know.
Um, I was just at Grand Velas and they actually did not serve French fries at the pool.
Oh no.
Like, they did not. And sometimes a French fry sounds really nice.
Like the, scalloped potatoes. No.
That's so
Yes.
funny.
So on our way home, we got our burgers and fries. We filled that filled that cup on our way home. Okay. Is there anything else you feel is important to share about the Marquis before we move on to the next hotel?
Yes. So I plan destination weddings and I'm always just kind of scoping out, even for group spaces or event spaces. They have this really pretty terrace that I always want to point out. It's like if you go into the resort, it's like all the way to the right. I can't remember the section of it, but like I can come back to you. But it's beautiful because it's perfect for like ceremonies or private events and it overlooks the ocean but no sand, which I think is important because I feel like a lot of people don't want that. However,
Yeah.
it is surrounded by rooms. So that's like the
Mm.
takeaway. And in order to have that event space, you have to do a buyout of all three buildings. So I think that
Oh.
a lot of people don't know that. And I just think that's important to know. One, they do that because they do not want you guys, like the event or the wedding, to be a disruption to the other guests. So it is like a
Mhm.
requirement if you want that event space that all of your guests have to stay in the buildings surrounding it.
So when you say that you have to buy out all three buildings, is that the entire hotel or that's just the section
Just a
around
section.
this event space? How many rooms roughly is that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know.
And
But
so I assume that there are other event spaces, if that's not going to be feasible to like buy out all the rooms or if that's not what they're looking for. There are other event spaces that they could consider.
yes.
Yeah, the
Okay.
public, at the
But
Okay.
beach, by the
yeah.
pool.
Yep. Like
Okay.
terraces. But
Okay.
that one specifically is like really pretty. So I always like to make that known because I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where would you put this on the scale of adults only all inclusives in Cabo in terms of like price point? Would you consider it an entry level all inclusive, a luxury all inclusive, one of the best in the area? Where would you like what types of clients coming to you with, everybody has different kind of budget expectations for an all inclusive. Like where would you put the Marquis on the spectrum?
I would say between premium and upper moderate, for
Okay.
Marquis. Right, more so
yeah.
upper
Okay.
moderate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you
I
add
think,
anything? Yeah.
no, I was just saying, like, I would say almost like the same thing. Like, maybe if someone had, is like used to like a secrets kind of like
Mhm.
type thing and they want to just try something a little bit more like a step up, kind of like, I would say, like, this is that property
Okay.
That's a
feel.
good comparison point, just as Secrets is quite well known.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Intro to luxury.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Paradisus,
This is
Mercedes, walk
this is
me
all
through.
Lex. Sorry, I did
Oh,
not. I know, I did not attend this one. This one she actually got to see on the date that I was
Yeah,
traveling
the
into
first
Cabo.
day.
perfect. Just kidding. Alexa. When you're just getting started, everything seems to take twice as long, from researching hotels to prepping for client calls. And every extra hour spent digging through notes is an hour you're not spending finding your first clients. That's why I created The Hive. It's your expertise vault, a living library where hotel details, destination insights, and advisor takeaways are all captured and organized in one place. Instead of wasting time chasing details, you could focus on building relationships and growing your business. If this sounds familiar, take a look inside at thehive.travel. Alexis,
Well,
tell me about Paradisus. Did you know anything about this property before you got there? Is it one that you were super familiar with? Walk me through kind of your experience.
yes, I had heard of Paradisius, but in the Riviera Maya, it didn't
Mhm.
seem in those destinations like a luxury property, but I was looking at the one in Cabo and I'm like, okay, I need to see. Sometimes there's like luxury resorts that you're like, I don't know why. I can't see why it's a luxury resort online, so I need to go and see it for myself. So that
Right.
was that
Yep.
property.
Perfect. So when you got there, what were some of like your initial first impressions that you noticed? Either things that you loved or you didn't love so much, just in terms of that arrival experience and that first look over the property and the views and whatnot.
Yeah, so I was surprised at how elegant it was when I first walked into the lobby. Because, like I said, I didn't have high expectations based on like what I was seeing online or just the properties in Riviera Maya. So I was surprised at how elegant the lobby was. It was very open, very large. They had a really nice bar in the lobby. And then when you walked in, it had a cultural feel, um, which I love about resorts. Certain resorts in Mexico and Cabo, they want to make you feel like you're in Mexico, that you can't be anywhere else but in Mexico. Um, and
Hmm.
they do that throughout multiple things at this resort.
Talk to me about the experience that guests are going to have during their stay. So the rooms, the decoration and the views, the swimming pools, the dining outlets, like what are the areas of the resort that really stood out to you and exceeded expectations during your visit that felt like a pleasant surprise?
Yeah, so one of the first restaurants when you walk in is a steakhouse, and it's only for guests in the reserve section. Inside the restaurant, it's really cool. They took these images from a cave local in Los Cabos and they recreated it on the wall. So again,
Cool.
they love to bring the culture inside the resort. So the paintings on the wall, and I think I included a few pictures of it in the drop.
Hmm.
The paintings are from a cave in Los Cabos. Um,
Cool.
yeah, so that was like pretty cool. In the lobby is really big, and they have a section where sometimes during the week they'll have a local painter come and
Okay.
do a painting, or a local artist come in and do like live music in the lobby. Again, bringing that culture inside the resort.
Now, when this is happening in the lobby, is there a setting in the lobby where guests can kind of sit and have a drink or kind of enjoy this ambiance? Or is it more of just like you're passing through and you kind of hear the music or see the paint, like the artist? What's that experience for guests when they're bringing in outside people? Because it sounds really awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of both. So you can sit right across from the section at the lobby bar. There's chairs there. There's a couple of chairs in the area because it's also like a reading area. So there's a couple
Hmm.
of chairs and sofas in the area that you can sit at while this person is doing live music or painting. It's kind of off to the
Hmm.
side in the lobby. So
Hmm.
guests can either do both. They'll pass by on their way to, their room, or they can be in the lobby having a drink and listening to the live music or watching the artist paint.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Did you get to try any of the food or beverage at all to kind of get a sense of what that was like?
I tried a beverage. I forgot what it was called, but it was good. I didn't get to try any of the food. Um, Another thing that stood out to me was the reserve rooms, and
Oh,
perks
okay.
that they get. If I did book somebody
Mhm.
from for the resort, I would book them in reserve. Um, they have
Okay.
their own pool. They have their own building. The reserve lounge is very nice, open, airy. It has a view of the ocean. It has a reading section, so it's kind of two sections in the reserve lounge. It is kind of the biggest
Okay.
reserve lounge I've seen. It just feels spacious. So that
So like a resort within a resort.
Yeah, kind of resort within a resort. They have, the check-in, and then you go around. They have like, the bar, they have snacks, and then you keep going, and then you have a lounge area if you want to read a book or if you just want to stare at the ocean. And there's some perks being in a reserve room, such as the pool that they have, their own building, the access to the restaurant, and they include one excursion um,
Okay.
for guests in reserve. So it can be a catamaran sailing. It can be going to San Jose del Cabo and doing a chocolate
Mhm.
tour or doing the blowing glass experience. Um,
Cool.
Again, bringing the culture, to the guest.
Hmm. Hmm. That's really good to know because I think one of the first questions clients always ask if the hotel has like an upgraded kind of lounge or butler or reserve or whatever they want to call it. It's clients are always like, is it worth it? Like, what's the difference? And trying to like figure out if that's something that they should consider
Right.
financially or if it doesn't make that big of a difference. So for you visiting Paradisus and recommending this hotel to clients, you would definitely recommend reserve.
Absolutely. I think I'll only book reserve, and you get access to. They have complimentary bikes electric bikes on property, so you get access to that being a
Nice.
reserve guest as well. So all those, perks typically, a upgraded like maybe like a diamond or a preferred level. They don't include like, an excursion, in their package or access to bikes. But I think this one I would only book clients at a reserve.
Okay, amazing. So, is there any situation in which the Marquis and Paradises might be offered next to each other in a proposal for the same client, or do those not make sense to be presented together?
um, I think yes and no. I mean, there is a trade off. The Paradisius, they are on a swimmable beach, so they have an enclave.
Oh,
Their
okay.
policy is to not have resorts on a non-swimmable beach. So they actually have another property that's an EP property. It's also has a swimmable beach. Like that's their model. They're not putting resorts on beaches you can't swim on. So that
Okay.
would kind of be like a trade-off perk of somebody choosing Paradisius over, the Marquis.
Yeah, I can kind of see like they're on like a little cove. Is that the area where you can swim and that's safe?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
So that's a huge
yes,
difference.
that's the
Um,
difference.
is there anything else that you feel like the Marquis is for one type of client, Paradisus is for a different kind of client, and so it doesn't make sense to present together, or you feel like they could potentially be both offered? Like,
I think they
I
could
don't.
potentially be both offered. But I do think Paradisi is a little bit more livelier than the Marquis.
Okay.
Not party, but just a little bit more livelier activities and things going on. Like they have a food truck at the pool. And like I said, they have the local artists coming in. As far as a wedding, I would compare the two as well. Paradisius, they have a absolute gorgeous terrace for a wedding. Oh my gosh, like it's gorgeous. And it has shade on top of it. So you can have a summer wedding and not feel the heat bearing down on you. It's absolutely
Okay.
gorgeous. It overlooks the ocean. Um, so they're similar, but there are some kind of a little bit more perks at Paradisius than the Marquis.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Are there any other nuances or details you want to share before we move on to the next hotel?
No, I think that was it.
Alrighty. Grand Bayless Boutique.
Yay.
Mercedes, can we pull you back in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me
Mhm.
about your experience visiting Grand Velas Boutique. Was this an option that you had booked before, that you knew a lot about, that you knew nothing about?
Yeah. So I knew about Grand Velas, just the regular resort, but I did not know much about the boutique. And when we were planning this, Alexis was like, hey, we should go see both. So we ended up seeing this, and I really did not know what to expect. But when I walked in, because we saw this one before we saw the family one, because that's where we had lunch at,
Mhm.
it just kind of like blew me away. Like, one, everything was really big. When you walk in, there's like these huge doors. And to put into perspective, I'm only 4'11. So it just felt like massive. And I know you were just there, but
Yeah.
like the doors walking into the little, what did they call it? Like mix 71, I think it is, or
Yes, like the bar area.
the
Yeah.
bar area where like
It's
you
like
go
floor
and
to
you wait. Yeah.
ceiling, and the ceiling's like 25 feet high. Yeah.
Right. So I was not expecting
Yeah.
that at all. I'm like, it's something that you don't see. And it's those little details that I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was like the first thing that I'm like, wow, this is really big. And then again, my size, I'm like, oh, it's still going. But it was beautiful. It's a newer property. It's like from, what we learned. And they did a fantastic job. It's really nice in there. So that's kind of like my first impression of it walking in.
So tell me what nice means. Did you
Oh,
feel like this was an elevated
for sure.
experience in any way compared to the Marquis and Paradisus?
Walking in, yeah, like the decor just felt like, yeah, like elevated, more luxe. It has like those darker tones to it, which I always like, not too dark, but like it has a lot of grays and like
Mhm.
marbles like built, like again, walking in.
Mhm.
Um, so like it kind of felt like sophisticated
Mhm.
compared to the others. I think that
Okay.
when you walk in there, it's like Alexis always says like luxury is quiet. So you can just feel like while it's grand in the presence of it, it's very quiet and like you knew that you were just walking into a whole different atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Luxury is quiet. Alexis, I like that. Tell me more.
So I kind of like made up all these mantras after I did the Travel Institute Luxury Lifestyle certification a couple of years ago. So, there's online, you see all these people like luxury on the budget, or everybody defines luxury. So I
Luxury on a budget?
had don't get
I mean, you could Google anything you want, but I'm not really sure what that means.
Right. And nowadays people put it into ChatGPT.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. So I had to kind of create mantras in a level of what luxury means to me and the people that I want to serve. And what I noticed and what I learned when you go to luxury properties or you do their training, and even I told Mercedes before we went to Cabo, I'm like, listen, like I said, luxury is quiet, and pretty much every resort that we went to, within the first 5 minutes, they're like, "Oh, we're not a party resort," and she laughed because I told her that, before we went. And I always say that luxury is quiet because they're there to pamper you, give you the utmost service, make sure you have a high level of food. They're not really there to like jump around, do flame stuff.
Entertain.
Yeah, they're like, go downtown, go in the destination. We're here to serve you, pamper you, not necessarily entertain you.
Right.
I love this so much. And so far, we've talked about 3 hotels, and so far, we've said 3 hotels. This is not the place to go if you want to party. So, like, first question, do you have a lot of clients who want to party? And second, like, where do you send them if they want to party? So this is just a general curiosity now because I don't know the answer.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like I have a lot of clients that want like some sort of entertainment. So when I'm doing like my consults, I have to kind of determine what that level of entertainment looks like for them. So I feel like a lot of times it's kind of just like, okay, do you want like a nightclub on property, or are you okay going and taking a cab somewhere? And that's like the biggest difference for sure.
Okay, so tell me more about your experience at Velas Los Cabos. So you made your way. We've made it to the gigantic doors in the lobby. It's elevated, it's sophisticated, and it's quiet, which is very true. This is also what I came home making notes about. It's really quiet.
Yeah,
potentially too quiet for some guests, depending on what they're looking for. I wrote that down. I was like, it's really quiet here. So you make your way to the rooms, to the food and beverage area, so the swimming pool. You make your way around property. Talk to me about the little details and nuances that you're noticing and that you're noting down of whether like you really like it. Oh, that's interesting. That's not my favorite part. Walk me through all your thoughts.
You want to go, Mercedes?
Sure. The entry level rooms there, how they all kind of face each other, but into the garden. I think that place is like stunning. I think that I love about Grand Velas is that they have those flowers. What are they called again?
Velas.
Yes, those flowers everywhere. And I love how like, even though it's their most affordable option, it's still like a beautiful presence. I'm not sure if you walk through that little island. Okay. And they have like the little fountain and a little like river kind of going throughout it. And I think that was really pretty. So that's kind of where we started our tour, is like walking through that area. And that was like one of the first room categories that we saw. Walking in, I was like, there is nothing entry level about this. But I also had not seen a resort to this type of capacity besides Blanc since we were already staying there. So I was like, wow, this is really nice. Again, very light in terms of like decor, like more on the modern side of it. And I'm like, okay, even though you don't get necessarily like an ocean view room, oceanfront, like even when you're walking out, it still feels like you're somewhere that is to that capacity of the resort, right? Like it's bringing in different elements of what the resort stands for. And like you see that as soon as you walk out your door, which I thought was cool.
It's beautiful and also peaceful.
Yeah.
Like it's just really like plants and trees and like there's like this little interior jungle. It's not interior, but like just in this little
yeah. I'm like, I don't even know
totally like another resort that says garden view. I'm like, so there's a bush in front of the window. Okay. But like this is like actually a really pleasant garden view.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
Right. I think a couple of things that stood out to me that's like, okay, this is a luxury property. They have Dyson hair dryers
Yes, they
in the
do.
room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
This is my luxury is quiet and Dyson.
Like, oh,
There's
this is just, in every single room. Okay.
Yeah. Flat iron. I've never even used the Dyson flat iron.
no,
Like
I'm
Dyson hair dryer and Dyson flat iron. Like other luxury properties, listen up because Grand Bayless is setting the
I know.
bar. There are
mhm.
Dyson flat irons.
I
Yep.
said, everything about this Grand Velas, that's why it's called Grand Velas. Everything is grand.
Great.
Everything is grand. Like Mercedes said, you're like, this is the entry level? Like, seriously? This is the entry level.
Yeah.
So yeah, that stood out to me. The tasting room where they have the daily tasting, that was just very like
Mm-hmm.
they have like the floor to ceiling windows. It's light, airy. You can do chocolate tasting. They have rum tastings, and I think one other tasting. Tequila,
Tequila.
tequila, and wine tastings. In that room. But it's a very small boutique, intimate feel in that resort, and very, like you said, peaceful. The Bougainvillas are gorgeous. It just brings the decor atmosphere to another level. All the nature around there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so those are like the few things that stood out to me. Not a lot of walking either. For those that don't want to be in a huge resort, and
It's
it's
tiny.
90 degrees and you're having to walk like a half a mile to go get something to eat. You don't have to
Mm-mm.
do that here.
This
No.
is true. So I was staying over at the big resort, and I would say to pretty much get anywhere from our room to the pool, to the beach, to the restaurant, to the spa, like I was factoring 5 to 10 minutes walking
Right.
Yeah.
just in general to get anywhere. The boutique is small. You need 2 minutes front to back. Like
Right.
you're not like walking
Mm-mm.
huge distances. If you forget something in your room,
You can
it's
run
not a
back.
big deal to go grab it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want that. So I like big resorts, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to walk like 5, 10 minutes everywhere and it's 95 degrees and the sun is like right above your head.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the pool is
Um,
small, so just to kind of make note of that. So if you have, I mean, it's a boutique property, but I feel like the pool, like it's worth mentioning that it's a little bit on the smaller side. I think that I don't know, we're so used to these resorts with like massive, pools or multiple of them. This resort does not have that.
yeah. It is definitely smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And also when I was there, it didn't like look overcrowded.
No.
No, when we were
So
there
it
either.
feels like small compared to the giant all-inclusives that have 300 or 400 rooms,
Right.
but it's probably fits the number of people who would ever potentially be there.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's not a property you would automatically think is all inclusive, but it is.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Did you have a meal there by chance, or you had a meal in the main resort?
At the
We
main
went to the main
resort.
resort.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
for
is
lunch.
actually the same because like people are going back and forth.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Where did you eat?
We ate at the
We
buffet.
went
Do
to
you
their.
remember? Okay. What'd you think?
It was good. It was so many choices. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't put everything on one plate.
And it was so cute too. It had like a modern feel with like all of the different, it had, like things hanging off the ceiling. I'm guessing that's still there. But it was just really nice and huge. Like there was a lot of families, and you can feel like we went at prime time. I think we had lunch at 12.
Mhm.
But there was still enough seating for like everyone where we were like, oh,
Mhm.
let's kind of get away from all of these kids. And we found like a nook in a corner, and it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Um, so what I noticed, because I
Mhm.
just did a site inspection there randomly like last week, the gym is the nicest gym I've ever seen in a resort.
Yeah.
Like the equipment, like it's not huge, but like it has everything you need, and the
Mhm.
equipment is top notch. And like I would look forward to go exercise there, even though I'm not usually a like must exercise on vacation person. It was lovely, and the spa was incredible. They have a hydrotherapy circuit that I have come to find out that not all advisors love. I personally, that was like a game
Oh,
changer. No spa is ever going to be the same. Um, because this is a Grand Bayless thing that they
Right.
have this hydrotherapy circuit that you do before your treatment,
Mhm.
and it lasts like 80 minutes or so. And so it just takes any like 1 hour or like 90-minute massage and just adds like an extra hour and a half to your experience. So now it's like a spa afternoon, which
Right.
is I'll take whatever you'll give me.
Right.
And it's a complimentary add-on to any spa treatment.
Wow, 80 minutes. I've never heard about I mean, I did multiple hydrotherapy circuits, but never for 80 minutes. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I've never
like
done one.
like if you do like every single step that they take you through, and you know, like it generally takes about 80 minutes.
wow.
So it's sometimes it's included as part of like some promotions or certain rates. You can see like a complimentary hydrotherapy session. But then if you book any spa treatment of, I think it's 50 minutes or more, it's automatically included. So it's just like this incredible option that just is a part of every treatment that you book. And now when I go to like a normal spa, I'm going to like be low key disappointed to be like, so I just get a massage?
That's it.
Right. That's it.
Where is my 90-minute like warm up?
That's it.
That's a.
You got to go back to Grand Velas.
I think like honestly, I want to go back anyways, but that will be something that I look forward to going back to, because I really love the spot. It's like my favorite. And the food was incredible.
Yeah.
Like
It was good.
For sure.
I really didn't know what to expect being an all-inclusive. I was trying to be like, okay, manage your expectations. I did not need to manage my expectations. The food was awesome. But it is really quiet. So we went over to the boutique for dinner at that restaurant that they have there. And we were like, well, let's go early and have a drink. So these giant doors that you saw, like one side's the bar, one side's the restaurant.
Yeah.
So that bar is the only place there is to have a drink. That's the part that's like boutique that I think is important to let clients know, is that they have one area for breakfast, one area for lunch, one area for dinner.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
And so there's never like
Many
you don't have
choices.
like two options for breakfast, two options for dinner. Like it's only one, and it's the same every single day. And so like I think you almost have to prepare people to go over to the bigger resort for some dinners and or drinks, if that's what they want, for just variety. I do have some clients who stayed at the boutique every single night and ate in that same restaurant, but that feels like the exception. The food's great, so like you can't go wrong, but like I don't know, I feel like most people would want a tiny bit of variety.
Right.
So we had a drink at that little bar area before dinner, and it was like too quiet. Like I was like,
is there anybody here?
am I not supposed to be here? Are you trying to close, but you're just waiting for me to leave? You know, like it did feel like a little too quiet. So like that's something that I'll share with clients in the future. Of like, if you know that you like to have a drink before dinner or a drink after dinner and you like a bit of a vibe, and I'm not talking a party, I'm talking like some music, right?
Background
you're
noise.
You're probably going to go to the bigger resort for that because they don't have it at the boutique.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It was gorgeous.
Which is not a compromise, because having like being able to stay in the boutique and have that elevated adults only experience, but then having access to the bigger resort, I think is like
plus.
It's incredible.
And again, it's not far from downtown Cabo if they wanted to eat at local restaurants. I mean, there's so many restaurants in downtown Cabo.
Anything else tell me.
Did you see the love tree on the terrace? What? Oh my God, there is a beautiful... I
have to go back right now.
There is like the most beautiful thing, and I included a photo for you. It's kind of like a rooftop. They don't have elevator access, so that's worth mentioning. But you can do a very small like reception up there, or if you have like a corporate group, they told us that they do like a lot of buyouts for corporate events, so that's a really good spot. But in the middle of it is this beautiful tree, and it has like these little different colored hearts hanging off of it, and it's stunning. So I always like to know that, because I'm like, oh, that's a really cool event space, and like it's something that you don't see everywhere. Like you can just see if it was just a regular terrace, sure, but this like statue in the middle of it is beautiful. And I think like again,
amazing.
I specialize in weddings, so I'm like, oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, well, these little details matter when you're planning events and weddings and whatnot. So amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sad they didn't take you up there.
Well, she did specifically ask me if I plan events and weddings, and I said no. So
that's probably why.
That's probably why. Because usually I don't need to see like the ballrooms and, you know, all the event spaces, because I don't plan events.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why.
Just to kind of tell you where it is, you know, the main pool, and there's like that restaurant to the right. There's stairs along that side. It's up there.
Oh, it's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I know exactly where you're talking about. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
It is cute.
Okay, LeBlanc, ladies, you had a fabulous 5/6 night stay.
Oh,
Oh my
You guys
gosh.
are in love. I can see it on your
Oh.
face. My goodness, the whole dynamic just changed.
Because I'm like,
oh my
we're spoiled. Like I can't stay at I'm judging every resort that I stay at ever since LeBlanc. I'm like, what do you mean I can't just text my butler and ask for a different pillow?
So this is also how I feel. Like the butler at Grand Velas was amazing too, and the spa. So staying, I think that this also really highlights how impactful it is to stay versus visit.
Right.
For sure.
So okay, walk me through all the things. First impressions, highlights, lowlights, everything. Tell me everything.
You walk in, you know, the doors open, and it's just marble everywhere. Not like you're in a princess walking into like your castle.
Stunning.
Gorgeous. They hand you their welcome drink, which is like a coconut drink. And then the first, you know, just thing that kind of blew my mind is they give you a heated neck towel. And I'm like, that's amazing because the plane is cold, the airport is cold, the van, you know, going to the resort is cold. And so that was just really like relaxing to get. And they also give you a white rose. So just princess treatment, you know, from the beginning.
I'm here for it.
It's amazing. And I feel like their lobby was like pretty grand. You know, if you think like, you know, ultra modern luxury, marble, chandelier, gold, you would think of LeBlanc. And then past the lobby, you know, there's another set of doors and you go on this gorgeous terrace. You walk through there, straight ocean view. Gorgeous, gorgeous views from there. So you check in, the butler he brings your stuff to your room. We go to check in. The room is nice. The bathroom, gorgeous. They have Bulgari. I hope I'm saying that right. Bath amenities. Another touch, you know, Grand Velas had the Dyson and they have Bulgari bath amenities. And you know, it's funny. I laugh because typically, you know, a lot of people they'll go to the resorts and they'll like take like the bath amenities. These have like a bar around them.
You cannot
You
take
can't
them.
take them, and they're full bottles.
Yeah, they are.
So that was, you know, a special touch just right away off the back, the bath amenities. We had double bed, ocean view. So we walked out on the terrace. We had ocean view. We can see like the pool and other buildings, but straight ocean view. The bar, they had a mini bar. So they had the bottles that were up top. Then they had Respado on the bottom. They had coffee, tea set up, the sodas and everything in there. I think the highlight for the room for me was the comfort menu. LeBlanc is like the first like very, very high end resort I've stayed at. So I'm like, I want it all. So I ordered the lavender pillow spray. I ordered the hand cut soap, and the butler comes in with a cart and cuts the soap for you. I still have
Okay.
Yeah, they have the white glove service. He comes in and cuts the soap for you. I ordered the aromatherapy. They come in and they set it up. I did it all. I'm like, I don't know when the next time I'm going to experience this, so I have to do it all.
Is the comfort menu all for like bedtime turn down stuff, or is it just
anytime?
It's for everything. It's for your comfort.
For your comfort at any time.
Okay.
I love it.
The butlers,
your pillow choice. Remember you changed your pillow
I got
choice?
a Doug Goose pillow. I just went through the whole menu.
Sounds amazing.
It was amazing. You know, you just feel like a princess.
Yeah.
The butlers were amazing. I mean, anytime we asked for something, they were there in like 5 minutes. No exaggeration. I asked for, what did I ask for? A sewing thing. I was like, you have anything, you know, something red? 2 minutes, they are at the door with like a needle and thread.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were amazing. What else?
Oh, the hallway stood out to us. So their rooms don't have like that secret compartment where you can put your room service in. So, you know, a lot of times you're walking throughout the hallways, especially we had really early mornings, and you would see food trays or at least a lot of properties outside if the guests don't want it. We didn't see any of that. Like the hallways were immaculate, and I'm just like a person that kind of just picks up on little things like, oh, is my client gonna, complain like, oh, there was food there for 3 days or
Yeah.
something like that, and we didn't see anything, and we would walk back and forth pretty constantly during our stay.
Right.
That's one
Amazing.
thing that stood out, and then they have the most beautiful event spaces. I know you don't book
No,
events,
that's
but
okay. Tell me.
I fell in love with like the main place is like this beautiful terrace, and it's like when you're walking down as like a bride, you're like going through this like mini garden, and then you have a few steps up, and it's like this, would you say it's like marble statue? It's kind
Yeah, it's
of
like a more like
I
square.
like yeah, like a square, and it overlooks like just the ocean, and it's really pretty, especially for evenings. It lights up, so we've seen birthday parties there, like events happening, and that was like absolutely stunning, and I included some images for you as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Sounds
i
beautiful.
I did the sunrise yoga there, and she
Mm.
was laughing at me. She's like, "You're really gonna go?" And I'm like, "Yes." It was hot. It was so
Oh,
hot. She was watching me. She's like, when I came back, I'm sweating, and she's like, "It's only 7:0." I don't know. I was like, not even 7:30 yet. And she's like, "Are you dying?" I'm like, "It's hot out there, man."
oh
I
man.
was just getting
Yeah,
No
probably in
shade.
August. Yeah,
No
probably in
shade.
August. So that's why in the other property you mentioned they have a shaded terrace. That makes a
Yeah,
huge
yes,
difference.
it
correct.
definitely makes a huge
Um,
difference.
okay, swimming pools, food,
Yeah.
drinks. How is everything in this regard?
Oof. The
You want to
food,
go? Oh,
amazing. Every single thing we ordered was just it's
yes.
just super elevated. I mean, the dessert, the Habibi restaurant we went to,
That was our
um,
favorite.
I love that because that was a unique thing. You don't see Lebanese restaurants at all-inclusive resorts.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so it's a Lebanese restaurant, but it was also entertainment. So every Tuesday and Thursday they have belly dancers. So it just wasn't dinner; it was an experience, and they have hookah there that you can
Hmm.
order. Um,
Oh,
it was
nice.
just an amazing night and experience. Mercedes danced with one of the ladies, like they put a sword on my
Hmm.
head. Uh,
Yeah.
and the food was good. It was different, from just regular all inclusive food. Like even the French toast was just elevated to like another level. Every single thing we had was
Yeah.
just amazing. And like she said, like I can't stay at like another resort. I'm like, what is this?
Mm-mm.
So is LeBlanc bigger? Because like the Grand Velas Boutique is so small that they only have like one restaurant for dinner. Is LeBlanc back to more of the bigger scale like the other all
Yes.
inclusives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're in that stage where business is picking up and you're starting to feel stretched too thin, the last thing you want to do is go digging for answers about whether a hotel offers connecting rooms or insights about a totally new to you destination. That's why I built the Hive. It's your expertise vault, a platform that turns scattered notes and siloed knowledge into an organized library of hotel details, destination insights, and advisor experiences, curated so you can focus on growing your business and serving your clients. Instant access to expertise means you sound confident, you save hours, and you scale smarter. If you're in that stage where things are picking up but you feel stretched too thin, the Hive was built for you. Learn more at thehive.travel. Okay, do you remember how many restaurants they had?
So we were there for 6 nights. I think we went to almost all the restaurants every night.
I think we went
Okay.
to.
So
So
we
Okay.
they have at
close,
least
yeah, at
6.
least six. So probably about seven,
Okay.
9 restaurants.
Yeah.
Um,
So, from a quality of service and experience perspective, is there a situation in which you would ever propose LeBlanc and Grand Velas next to each other?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through how you would guide clients to decide whether Grand Velas Boutique or LeBlanc is better for them.
Mhm.
What should they consider? Like, what are the give and take of each resort?
I think for me, I would propose them because I think that if someone is looking for like something a little bit more laid back, because I think both properties are that. I think the biggest takeaway would be like, hey, if you want more resort options, so maybe like a longer stay, or they want that variety. I think what you have to differentiate is like if you do LeBlanc, you obviously everything is at LeBlanc, and it's pretty fast to walk from like start to finish or from like this side to this side. I wouldn't say any more than Alexis, like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
Like it's not huge. You're gonna
Right.
do some walking, but it's like not too bad.
Yeah.
Versus like if you're gonna do the Grand Velas Boutique, and you want variety, you're going to have to walk to the main side, the main resort.
So it is 280 meters. It's 300 meters and a golf cart takes you back and forth. So it is
Yeah.
not cumbersome at all, but it
Yeah.
is like you've got to get to the other resort.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just that.
So I think that would be like the biggest thing, like how much effort do they want to give or like to get to the other side or have different experiences for sure.
Right.
You don't need a golf cart at LeBlanc at all.
Okay,
And they
let's
don't have
walk
they don't have them.
through. Sure. Let's walk through all the different components. If we're comparing like the rooms, the decoration, the amenities, the views, the terrace, the aesthetic, the look and feel, is there any big differentiator between Grand Velas Boutique versus LeBlanc in helping clients decide?
I would say as far as
Besides Dyson and
yeah.
that's a
the
big thing, right? Like if I'm a curly hair girl, so like for me that wouldn't be a deal breaker because I'm not going to use that product. But maybe I have someone with like straight hair who likes a fresh blow dry, and maybe doesn't want to travel with their products. Maybe they're scared about like the voltage or kind of just like, oh my God, something's going to happen to my, machine. I think that's like something to make note of for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Also in the room.
there's
Sorry. Also in the room,
there's no comfort menu at Grand Velas.
And
the
yeah,
comfort menu, yes. And if some people are used to, they like alcohol in their rooms. Grand Velas Boutique really doesn't have that. But LeBlanc has the bottles up top, and then they have the bottles at the bottom.
yeah, they have like a bar inside your room at LeBlanc.
That's interesting. So at Grand Velas, so at the bigger resort, we had a bottle of tequila and a bottle of wine, and then we had a mini bar that we just customized. So it did have some beer and some alcohol in it, and we just asked them to put like the specific beer that we were going to drink. So there was alcohol there. I didn't look. The mini bar at the boutique looked the same as ours, but it was not like a bar.
Right. There was no bottles.
Right. Okay.
At
So a
LeBlanc,
more
you'll have-
expansive, like in-room bar.
Right.
At
In room
LeBlanc.
bars is more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I can't speak to like the checkout process of Grand Velas Boutique, but at LeBlanc, this is another thing that kind of blew me away. I think the morning of, we were going to breakfast, and the butler stopped us, and she said, "Hey, what time are you guys leaving?" And we said, I think 8 o'clock or something like that. And so we went to breakfast, and as we were coming down the hallway, they were taking our luggage down the stairs. So like I think we said 7:30, and 7:30 they were taking our luggage down to the lobby. Actually, before that, we were talking to the butler. She said, "What kind of sandwich do you want?" And like we were confused. She said, "When you leave, we're gonna give you like a bag
A
to
lunch.
the airport." So I forgot what we picked, but when we checked out, we had like a
turkey.
brown bag that had LeBlanc logo on it, and it had a sandwich, granola bar, apple, and water. And also when we checked out, they said they were going to give us chocolate. So I imagine like, the little chocolate truffles. No, they gave us, we opened like the box. It was blue whales because Cabo was known for whale watching. And it didn't even look like chocolate. They were so cute and pretty.
Beautiful.
So they have all these little touch points from beginning to end that just elevate your experience there.
For sure.
That's amazing. That is a really nice touch to kind of send you on your way with like a little to-go sandwich. That's really awesome. For the dining, this might be a consideration for clients. So you mentioned that LeBlanc has Lebanese. Do you remember the like cuisine type of the other restaurants?
Yeah, there's like a French restaurant. There's like a seafood restaurant that overlooks like the beach. They have really good lunch. I ended up getting a fried snapper, and to this day, I'm like, that was the best fried snapper I've ever had. And I eat fried snapper like everywhere I go.
Yes. They also have an Asian restaurant, a steakhouse. I went to the steakhouse restaurant or the Asian restaurant, and they had this little experience where I saw the person next to me order it. So then I ordered it, and they give you like this very hot slab, and then they give you 3 pieces of Wagyu steak, and like you cook on this hot slab, and they give you like salt and a couple of sauces. So that was another just not you're eating, another experience to have.
Experience.
So I'm looking at their website. They've got French, international,
Yep.
Lebanese,
Yep.
Italian,
Yep.
Japanese, and seafood. So I guess if clients were really trying to decide, one differentiator is that Grand Velas has the Michelin star tasting menu,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is super unique, especially for an all-inclusive. So Grand Velas doesn't have something like Lebanese. They have like steak and seafood, Italian, Japanese, a Mexican, like a really great kind of high-end Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
So they all are similar, except the Lebanese is unique at Le Blanc and
The
the
Michelin star.
Michelin star is unique at Grand
Yeah.
Velas.
So trade-offs, but I mean they're kind of like similar trades-off. Like you're not gonna like lose either or.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I mean I think that this is a great example of like you really can't go wrong, but you do have to make a decision. So
Right.
we're genuinely grasping at
Yeah.
straws here of like
Right.
how do we decide, right?
Down to like the tiniest thing.
Right, but I guess like a client is genuinely going to look at both of these, and
Yeah.
if you Google Grand Velas, Los Cabos is the top sponsored result. I mean, LeBlanc is the top sponsored result.
Oh yeah.
So like even if we don't present the two resorts, like
They're gonna see
clients
it.
are going to be aware of the two resorts, and I think that if we're able to step in and guide them through that decision making process, then that
Yeah.
just also cements our role as an advisor in these two options.
Right. Drilling down to small details, differences.
Is there any drastic difference between the swimming pool situation?
Yeah.
The pool, they have multiple pools and they're definitely bigger. They
Yeah.
have cabanas that you can rent. Either
They have hammocks in the pools.
yeah, they have hammocks as well.
Cool.
They have
They have
sunscreen at the pool.
oh
Like-
yeah, sunscreen at the pool and aloe they provide to you.
Yeah, they have stations at the pools.
Grand Velas should have sunscreen.
Yeah.
They did at the big one, so I would imagine they do at the boutique as well.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beach is gorgeous, but unswimmable.
Yeah.
Yep.
One
Yeah.
of the trade-offs I think is we were expecting for the size of this resort to have like at least two options of nightly entertainment. Like we knew there was no club or like a bar that was going to be a little bit more lively, but it was so quiet.
Okay.
So every night that we stayed, it was just more so like around, would you say like 8 or 9,
Yeah.
like just like a live musician, and that was kind of
Okay.
it. And after that
Okay.
was done, there was like absolutely nothing else.
And is the live musician in a bar area where you can at least have a drink and enjoy? Or where?
It varied. So like one night it was like on one of their terraces and you have to kind of walk up a few steps to go to the bar. And
Okay.
then the other night it was like hosted somewhere else. Not
They have like a sports lounge that they have like live music, karaoke. They have a DJ, but I think that was like the one day that we weren't there that they had the DJ.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just one entertainment option per night.
Yeah. So that at Grand Velas, I already shared how quiet it was at
Yeah.
the boutique, but then over at the big resort, there's 3 bars, but one of them was never open while we were there. And so it kind of felt like really dependent upon the weather, and it's really small. So I think you should really sell it as 2 bars.
Okay.
And one was open earlier than the other. And so it felt like one was great before dinner and after dinner, but one was mostly for after dinner.
Okay.
Because it didn't even open until 7. So you couldn't go at like 5 or 6 and have a drink before a 7:00 dinner, you know?
Right.
Okay.
And then that one that opened later, I noticed like their programming was like karaoke, DJ, like there were things going on later at
Okay.
night. So it was there, but again, like you have to leave the boutique and go over to the bigger resort.
Okay.
And I guess you would have 2 options for bars. But
Yeah, that's good.
yeah. These are all like such small, minor details,
Yeah.
but I think that they're important. And I guess what I generally encourage guests to do, or our clients, is like, we can sit here and put on paper all of the like tiny little, like this one has a Lebanese restaurant and this one had, you know, but what's really most important is I'm just like, envision yourself on the trip. Like you're going to dinner tonight. Do you prefer trying a Michelin star tasting menu or Lebanese? Okay, there's your answer. Like it's night, it's after dinner. are you ready for bed, or do you really want to go out and like have a drink and sing karaoke?
Right.
Yeah.
This matters. Like, put yourself in the trip right now and envision yourself there. And then that should hopefully kind of help you at least lean one way or the other. It's still not saying that like you can't go wrong.
Right.
But you have to make a decision, right? You have to sleep somewhere.
Right. Exactly.
Is the comfort menu in the room going to elevate your stay beyond belief? If yes, like you should stay at LeBlanc.
Yeah, you should.
Or hydrotherapy for me. So I think, like
Right.
you have to, I think you just have to be honest with like how you're actually going to like spend your time and what you're going to enjoy the most.
Right. Do you want to be like pampered? Like I said, the butler service was amazing. Every morning they text us everything what was going on. They made sure we had dinner reservations every night. We wanted to book the spa. We didn't book the spa, but if we wanted to, they will book that, or they asked about excursions, what we were doing that day. And we always had 2 butlers, and they would tell us who's going to be on for that day. And actually, when we went to the elevator, you would pass by the butler station and they would wave and say, hi, do you need anything? How's your day going? So just really elevated service, with the butlers.
Amazing. I experienced the same at Grand Velas with the butlers. It was top notch. Amazing. Mercedes and Alexis, I really appreciate you taking time to, look at this. It's more than an hour and we got through 4. You guys visited 13. So I really appreciate you taking your time just walking through like all of these details, all of your impressions, all your takeaways. And if you want to come back later and talk about other properties, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This was fun. And, it's just not like, answer a question, but like we're like talking, laughing, making jokes. It was fun.
And also we learned so much, I think, because I didn't know anything about LeBlanc at all. And now I feel like maybe I need to go back and check out LeBlanc.
You do. You do.
We have to.
Even one thing to point out, because I've gone to both LeBlancs in Cancun and Cabo, the welcome drink is not the same. Just if anyone is obsessed like with the Cancun welcome drink, that one is way better.
Cancun's way better?
Yes.
Oh, maybe we can ask for the recipe.
I don't know. It's fantastic. I can't even describe it. Like I had like 6 of them. And I'm
Man, if you're dreaming of a welcome drink, like they're doing something right.
That's what I'm saying. I was like kind of disappointed going to Cabo. I was like, Lex, they have a really good welcome drink. It's coconutty. And then I'm like, this is not what I've been thinking.
This is not the same recipe. No. Amazing. Well, thank you both. And I look forward to having you on again sometime in the future.
Yes, we got
thank you.
EP properties.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Hive Mind podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you know a friend or colleague who would enjoy this, please share it with them. If you would like insights from this episode landing in your inbox each week, join our newsletter at thehive.travel/podcast. And remember, if you'd like to contribute to a future episode, whether it's sharing your destination expertise or your experience touring hotels, just head to thehive.travel/podcast to learn more and express your interest. We'd love to have you join the conversation. Until next time.